Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon. It's anime. Brennan came in a little second late.
Yeah, that's all right.
But it's all good.
It is strong, man.
You had me second guessing myself. I was looking over. He was like, "We're doing the group thing, right?"
Yeah, and I was like, we're good. And then when I was like, he slid in a second late. I was like, oh, shit. Thank you guys for coming in and tuning in to another episode of AnimeSHUN. The squad is back. Minus Ice.
He's not important.
and
he's
back before too long.
Yeah, he's not. And, he's not showing up late today. He's just not showing up at all today. Bitch ass Ice. We got to just, every time somebody's just not, showing up, we just have to,
Yeah,
take a shot at them, I feel like.
It's
tradition.
Yeah, if we didn't, I'd be a little worried, You just got you pick on those you love,
Yeah, yeah, it's
Something
love.
like that.
It's love, Ice.
Arguably.
Yeah.
Arguably it's love. I mean, he actually might be coming in today. He's just late.
Oh, he said he might be coming in?
No, that's just Ice. I mean, I'm just saying, like.
You just wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm just sorry, guys. I came in late.
Ice.
He'll come in on Thursday like, all right, I'm here. Like, let's
Yeah, straight up. He'll just
Thursday?
he'd be like, hey, guys, we did it, right? We're doing it. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I'm here to record.
Ice ain't shit.
If he came in on Thursday out of nowhere, that'd be the
hilarious.
funniest shit ever.
Ice, we release on Tuesday. Come on, you know that.
Today, man, I love today.
Yeah.
I actually love what we're doing because Rob. Oh, do I get a drum roll for
Oh.
something like that?
Drum roll.
Yeah, drum roll. Rob got to pick what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get to that, congratulations to Brennan.
Yeah.
Nominated for an Emmy.
An Emmy.
Hey.
Making us proud out there. Yeah, I mean, you got to win it first, though.
No, I haven't won shit. So
Yeah.
there's no I feel like
Nomination doesn't mean shit
it
right
feels
now.
like an honor, I guess. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if we don't talk about it much, like what all of us really do outside of here.
Yeah.
No.
But we have a production company here, and I'm also a professional drone pilot.
Yeah.
And a commercial that I did drone piloting on got nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah, your first step towards an EGOT.
Mhm.
So.
Hey, we've talked about EGOTs before.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way that'll ever happen.
Well, we got to get you on Broadway somehow.
Yeah,
that's
that's the real stretch right there. I'm like, the rest of it, possibly, probably not. But the Broadway side of it is like, bro, I'll sweep the floors.
One man show. We'll get you up there. Yeah,
One man show for Brennan.
One day I'll be that interesting.
Maybe a collective EGOT between all of us.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'll take it.
I'm fine
squad,
with it.
yeah.
Each
Which means
we each
Rob's
get one.
going to be on Broadway. Rob, you're the best suited for Broadway here.
I'll give it a shot, man.
I knew you would.
Oh, you would do
I knew
it
you
for real?
would. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I
good.
used to do a bunch of theater back in the day,
Yeah,
but then I
Rob
moved
can
out to LA
sing.
and I was like, everybody's
What?
an actor.
Rob can sing. Rob can act. Rob is so talented. Like, you don't even know. Like,
Keenan's
Rob,
like upset, right?
I'm highly upset. I had zero clue that he can sing.
Rob is literally one of the most talented people I know. and
That's too far. No,
It's-
you,
I mean, you
'cause
call
you
it
know
what it is.
other people that
I know
are
extremely
definitely way more
talented people,
talented
but
than
the thing is, it's like what you bring to the table on a daily basis when it's just like the intelligence, the organization, the ability to write, organize, and structure. On top of you can sing, you can act. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you might not be the most talented in all of those categories.
too
That
many
you can bring
compliments.
all
I'm
these
uncomfortable.
categories to the table.
Bruh, don't say too much compliments. You got
just saying, if
seven. You got
anybody-
7 birthday cakes, bro. This is normal to
He
your ass.
literally did get 7 birthday cakes. So I'm just saying, if anybody at this table is getting EGOT, I'm just saying.
I gotta give that to Brennan because Brennan knows he does know a lot of talented people.
does.
Like he knows a lot of talented fucking people in this industry in the country. So in the world, pretty much.
So that means we give it to Rob.
No, I am humbled.
It's funny if Rob's like a dick, like off stage, like I'm so humbled. That's right, bitches. You know how good I am.
Yeah, y'all know what it is. Bow.
I'm the greatest.
Bow before me. But Rob, what are we doing
yeah.
today? Rob, wait, I'd like to say this is a big deal because Rob's never picked the show we've watched before. This will be the first time.
No,
Rob's-
I don't think so.
Rob's
I
had a choice.
maybe suggested Yu Yu Hakusho, but that might have been a group
I don't know. It was
thing.
a group thing. So if you
Yeah.
brought it up, then I doubled down on it.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think we all kind of like
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure on you now.
I know,
Rob.
I
You
know,
know
and
how-
I was feeling it. Like Cameron was even asking me about like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I got to watch 2 more episodes
Cameron's our
of the
technician.
show.
He's a
Yeah.
technician.
And he's like, oh, it's not good. I'm like, it's not that it's not good. Like, honestly, like I'm just nervous what you guys are going to say about it. My reputation's at stake here.
It's a big
yeah.
thing. This is a big moment.
It
So
is.
Rob, you had all the anime on this planet to choose from.
Yup.
How did you come to your decision?
I came to my decision. I picked Evangelion, Neon Genesis. I picked it because I've always seen like stuff for this show, and I've always been curious about it. Like way back in the day, like in junior high, I remember like somebody had edited Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody using just footage from this particular show,
Yeah, that's
and I
awesome.
was like, "This is so fucking cool!" Like this got me so hyped. But I never knew what the show was, and so very recently, Netflix just released the entire show on this last Friday.
And 2 movies on
And
top of
2
that.
movies, yeah. So Keenan and I were looking into that. That's not like sequel series. They're 2 other movies that are also on Netflix that were made, a couple of years and after this one was. And so so we watched the first 5 episodes of that, and it's kind of heavy. I mean, it definitely it comes in with the drama. I mean, we can just jump right into it. if
You got some facts for us, Brennan?
Oh, but of course, my friend.
Oh,
of
Brennan's
course.
got the facts.
But
Do
of
your
course.
job.
Well, I mean, the thing is, what was interesting is that this show is so old and also is very popular,
Yeah.
and controversial for a lot of different reasons. So I'm not going to get into that. I think what we're going to be able to do is end this show when we talk about the controversy, or actually get into that as we get to those parts of the show. I unfortunately got a little bit of a spoiler for this. And the other thing is, I've actually seen a few episodes of the show before, which I didn't realize until I started watching it and I saw the opening credits
Yeah.
and heard the song. I'm like, I know this song. And I was watching animation. I'm like, I know this show, but I don't remember it.
Gotcha.
So like episode 3 that we watched today, that I watched, I watched all 5 episodes today. But
It's all good. It's best for your memory.
yeah.
Yep.
But episode 3 specifically, I was like, I've seen this episode. I remember seeing this episode because, I like Rob said, this show has never been streamed before until now. So the
Yeah,
reason,
not in the
one of the
States
big,
at least.
yeah, one of the big reasons why Rob picked it is because it just got put on Netflix. And so now we're like, okay, cool. You guys can watch along with us because everybody got somebody's Netflix password.
Exactly. Right.
So I had to look into it, and I found out that Hideki Anno. Oh, man, I'm so sorry about that name, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm so
I
sorry
don't even
how
know
I
what it is,
pronounce
but
it.
you're butchering it.
Yeah, I butchered the shit out of that. I apologize. But he's a Japanese director, animator, film director, and all that. He's the guy who directed this and partially gives him credit for writing it. Really interesting guy because apparently he had a few pieces that he put out before this that flopped.
Oh, okay.
They didn't do well, and it actually dove him into a deep depression.
Oh, shoot.
And this is the show that helped bring him out of it.
Well, that some things make a lot of sense given that context for sure. It's
Right.
pretty bleak.
Yeah, it is pretty bleak. But I mean, the fun thing is he's actually known, his directing style, he's known very much so for like being able to give the psyche of the characters and really digging in on that in non-traditional ways, which I think we've already seen parts of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said, we're going to get into that, but even just like as an example, like the secondary pilot, just the thought about how that didn't work out for me is like, as I was reading about this guy, I was like, oh man, he really is playing with that. Other than that, the Japanese studio that actually produced this was only been around for 34 years.
Okay.
So this is one of the first pieces they made, but this is so commercially successful. It made like $1.2 billion.
Oh,
Wow.
shoot.
In 1995 money?
I mean, I don't know. That's just the numbers that I found on the
Just
internet.
cumulatively?
Yeah,
maybe-
cumulatively
okay.
over the time since it's come out, since 1995. So this did come out in 1995. And it's a big thing, man. Like, this is actually a really popular show. But again, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like stop my research for there right now. And the reason I did that is because I had to stop looking at everything. Because normally when I look up a show, there's just a page that I can find on certain websites that'll just tell me all the things about the writers, and then I can click their names and I can go through. But it's really hard to do with this show because there's so many articles written about this show, about the ending of it. I mean, there's so many things, and even like I saw a few articles that said that why this show right now is so relevant to the times that we live in, and things like that. I can't read those articles yet, because everything is always, all these articles are very much so going against the assumption that you know the show and you've already seen it, because this ain't new. This is 95.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what I got so far. The director was depressed. He came out of it. This is one of his most commercial successes. He also made Shin Godzilla in 2016, which was also pretty successful, apparently. I haven't seen it. But the rest of the shows he's worked on, I either haven't heard of or haven't seen, so I don't really have much to mention.
Okay.
Because we all know, it's like, I might have seen a lot of anime in my life, but the idea of anime is like, anime is so big, there's genres of anime.
Yeah.
It's not just like saying, do you like action movies? It's like, well,
Yeah,
I guess there's genres of action movies too, but I feel like anime is just so broad. It's just like, it's an
broken.
animation style. It's
Yeah.
not, so for me, I'm like, all right, I think I be acting like I know stuff about anime until I get into somebody like this and I open up his filmography and I'm like, I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, it's a very humbling experience. Like, he's like, yeah, I know anime. It's like, no, I don't know anything. But either way, I was really excited for this. One other thing that I will say is that this show reminds me of a couple shows that I've seen. Big O. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Big O.
I haven't seen it.
Big O,
No.
Big O. Y'all haven't
I
seen that?
feel like I've seen it.
That was on
Big O?
Toonami.
Really?
trailer
Yeah, the
for
big
it.
white robot thing. You know, it's like, and he had like piston arms, and he just fuck shit up. Like, he would
Yeah, I don't
punch
think
it.
I watched it consistently.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like Big O. But Big O, there was one show I'm going to find out for you guys that I actually watched on Netflix. They pulled off since that was about a kid and a robot, pretty much. That was extremely similar. Not the actual storyline, but more so very similar in the sense of the world that was built around it, the futuristic city built to defend against monsters that attacked. Obviously, this has a Pacific Rim feeling to it. And
Yeah.
then lastly, as another show that might be my next recommendation if I ever am allowed one again, is Gurren Lagann. Because Gurren Lagann is really, really impressive as an anime, and it's based on kids fighting for theirs and others' lives inside of giant robots, but also more so about their mentality and like how they approach it, and then like dealing with crises and tragedy and things like that, and how they deal with it. So there's only 2 pieces of anime that I was telling Rob earlier that I'm gonna be real about it. I'm a man. I'm gonna say it. That have made me cry. One of them is Gurren Lagann.
I knew Brennan had that bitch in him.
I mean, look, you go ahead and deal out your toxic masculinity. I have emotions and I embrace
here we go.
them.
Toxic masculinity.
I'm just saying, I embrace my
But
emotions.
not
Like
real
if
thing.
something
There we go.
brings me there, I let it.
Yeah.
You know, so
I just told
that's
you
for
I
you ladies
cried.
out
I
there.
just told you I cried earlier over a Vegeta compilation because he never beat a villain before.
He beat that purple dude on Namek. He beat the
That
brakes
shit
off that
don't
dude.
count.
And Android 19, he ripped his arm straight off.
That was the best moment Vegeta's ever had.
He
That's true.
hasn't
He
beat
peaked.
anybody that needed to be beat.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, he beat Frieza's ass in the Golden Frieza movie.
And that was so whack how they did him.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't finish it.
Yeah.
Didn't take it over the
But I'm
finish
saying
line.
that's on Vegeta, man. He should have instead of just beating up Vegeta, beating him up and standing over him, he should have killed him. That's on Vegeta. I don't care. Like, I get it. They took it away from him. That's fine. But I'm just saying, if Vegeta had the opportunity there, like he's not had the opportunity in a lot of spaces. He's taken a lot of L's.
Yeah.
Specifically, one of the worst L's ever. He got KO'd by by Frieza back on Namek. If y'all don't remember,
I do remember that.
there was a grave literally dug for him from
Look,
a
I
look.
mean,
Goku dug a grave for him looking at the ground. Just like
I know we're kind of going on the side tangent real quick, but
Yeah.
I feel like didn't Vegeta beat Goku twice?
Yeah, I mean,
Technically, he beat
one
him.
time both times by dirty tricks, but he did beat him.
And they pretty much Goku had to get help, or somebody else had to just kind of tag in and get it done for
beat
him.
who?
He beat Goku.
Who did?
Vegeta.
When?
I mean,
The first time
Oh,
they
you mean
fought.
when they first fought?
when they
I
first
mean,
fought, yeah, Vegeta
I
had
feel like
that in the bag.
You could make it an argument either way because like Vegeta also before he won, he had to turn into a monkey
yeah.
to do it.
That's
you know
part
what
of
I'm
his
saying?
style. That's
That's
part of
why I
his
say
fighting.
it's the dirty trick.
But the
He's just
trick that he
like-
used was Goku's father's trick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, did he beat him? Yes, technically. If it was literally just Goku and Vegeta fighting, they're the only ones there. Then yeah, Vegeta wins this fight.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the power of Goku that we learned in Dragon Ball Super. Anyways, it's not about Goku. It's about the relationships Goku has.
True.
It's about the team.
Yeah.
You know, and the team came through, and
Yeah,
that's
they
Goku
did.
never has won a fight by himself. All right, think about that. Goku
Yeah.
has never won a fight by himself. Like he just doesn't do
He
that.
beat Frieza by himself.
No, he didn't. He got Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin. You know, everybody else fought Frieza the whole time. It wasn't like Frieza wasn't fighting anyone else, and Goku didn't have any
So
help.
you're saying they like loosened the lid on the
That's
pickle jar
what
for
I'm
him?
saying.
If
I was
Krillin,
just like,
Krillin
I'm going
wasn't
off
killed
that.
on that battlefield, then does he turn Super Saiyan instead of just dying? You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
he never did it by
So his
himself.
death assistant getting his ass.
An assistant is an assist, bro.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
I'm just saying, Goku ain't never done it by
That's
himself.
hilarious. All
But
right,
either way,
Rob.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
fully digress. Rob,
Yeah.
take us home.
So this show, they kind of push you right into the deep end. This starts off, there's already like emergency sirens like blaring over the city. Everybody's out of there. There's like announcement saying like, you know, official like public announcement, like everybody get out of town. Like the bad guys are coming. And they kind of show that there's this giant craft like making its way kind of slowly, like walking its way through up to the city. And the military, they're all marked as UN stuff. So this is like, you know, world military like might against this thing. They've got tanks, missiles, all sorts of shit unloading on this huge monster with like a mask, like walking up on the city.
Nothing.
And nothing's doing anything. I mean, they're firing huge intercontinental ballistic missiles at this dude, and he's just like catching them and crushing them and punching them. Nothing's working. And you see like the inside of the like, you know, defense base or whatever, and there's this one guy with glasses in the background basically just waiting on the bench, waiting for his moment. Just, all right, you guys, you let me, I've got my program, my experimental program ready to go. You let me know when you need it, kind of thing. And they're just like last resort.
Yeah.
What do you mean last resort, man?
Hey, man, you got to look.
Man, our like the arrogance.
They were like, hey, we're going to try everything. And they do. Because, like, meanwhile, in the city, we meet this kid who's the last person to get out. And he's making a phone call. He's got a number for this lady. He calls her up.
On a payphone, by the way.
He calls her up on a payphone in the distant
2015.
the distant future of 2015. But keep in mind, this is made like 20 years before.
They still got car phones too. Well, go ahead, please.
No, it's like they're like dated, but then they have futuristic stuff also. I was so upset watching this world.
The robots are futuristic, but like the technology, like of like daily life was y'all like 5 years up.
And that's the thing when we passed 2015, like since we're in 2019 right now, I was watching this shit like, hey, none of this shit happening. Like I was just hot, like.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, so that guy, his name, I was looking up some of the character names. That guy is Shinji Ikari, and so he's trying to get a hold of this girl, and to basically get him out of the city. And he's saying like, I don't think she's gonna make it in time. Meanwhile, she's cruising through the city in her car looking for him, just like trying to find him.
That car is nice.
Yeah, and while he's waiting for her, the one thing that kind of hints at something maybe future to come, he spots like a vision of this girl with blue hair that pops up later, and he kind of spots her in the road, and I think she tells him not to run or something like that.
Yep.
So the car pulls up, and the lady's just like, hey, like just in time, like get in, and they're on their way out of the city. Meanwhile, this whole attack is still going on. Military's not ready to put in the guy on the bench.
Yep.
And they're finally like, all right, they launch a tactical nuke at this thing.
Yeah, and she was like, and she saw it coming too. That's one of the first clues that we have of what she is and who she does, who she is and what she does.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, they're not going to do the land. She said there was a name for it, but she's like, oh, they're not going to do that yet. And she looked and was like, oh shit, they're doing it, because she saw him pull back all the helicopters and everything like that.
Yeah.
So she's like, get down now. And he's like, huh? And she grabs him and just does that, and the shockwave flips the car.
Yeah.
From that, they're just like, that had to kill it. Like it was a giant nuke bomb thing. It's like, and that car.
Yeah, the car flipped all over the place.
That car,
Bro.
I want that. See, that's the kind of future I want. I want a car that does that shit.
Like everything made out of fiberglass right now. That shit should have just like blew up immediately. Just been like seats, and that's it.
They're like
would've
Japanese
quickly.
car engineering.
Yeah.
This car flips over like side over side over side over side.
Yeah.
And they're okay. They get
They're
out.
minimal damage.
They're fine inside of it too. Like they must have
Yeah.
their seatbelts buckled and everything. 'cause-
Yeah.
The
I mean,
fender's jacked up.
Yeah. But they get out of the car and they're just like, all right, cool. Like it's smoke's clearing. They think everything's cool for a bit. They're just like, all right, let's get this thing on its right side up. And
robot's
we'll get
still
out of here.
there.
Yeah.
But it's still there and it's still coming in. And they're just like, all right, shit. They turn to the guy and they're just like, you're in. We need your shit right now.
Oh, now you need me, huh?
Yeah.
I'm making you wait. I'm be honest with you. That's me. Y'all can wait for a second. Hold on.
Did we say the name of what these things that are attacking are yet?
The angels?
The angels. They refer to them as the angels.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because
Yeah.
one came 15 years ago, and here's the first one since then.
And that's what they mention in some of the chatter you get in the scene, that these things first showed up 15 years ago, nothing since then, and now all of a sudden this guy's showing up out of nowhere. So they're like, what the fuck? This is the second time. I will say that with this show, already within this section reminded me of is Attack on Titan, where like there's a huge calamity that happens that destroys everything, and then 15 years later somebody rolls up and they're like, oh shit, like all right, activate like all the stuff that we've been preparing for, like get all the experimental technology in. So
dude, I forgot. Did they ever say did they ever destroy the thing from 15 years ago?
no, I don't think
haven't
they
mentioned
did.
what happened.
It just
actually.
bounced
They
or
just said
whatever?
that they said that pretty much whatever it was wiped out everybody for the most part, but we don't know how that ended either.
Well, all we know all that we know, what happens next is this woman who turns out to be, she explains to the kid, Shinji, she's like, I'm a secret agent. I work with your dad. That's how you got this number of mine. Like he told me to look after you.
Yep.
You get the impression that this kid and his dad, who turns out to be the guy in charge of the experimental program, they're not really close. He seems even surprised that his dad sent for him. He's just like, oh shit, my dad called for me? Like I haven't seen that dude in years.
The fact you sitting for your son and he's the last dude anime fathers are shitty, dog.
This guy might take the cake too.
Oh my god.
He's terrible.
I'm like, y'all stop talking about black fathers, man. We hear out. Black fathers are present. But anime fathers?
I'm trying to think if there's a good anime father. Like Gohan seemed like a good dad.
He's a good dad.
He's a good dad.
Yeah.
His dad was trash, though.
His dad was very trash.
But that, I mean, I found out that in Saiyans are not supposed to be good fathers.
Yeah,
They
makes
said
him
it in
stronger.
the Broly movie too. they say like he's not supposed to, saying fathers don't care about their kids like
Or
that.
it's human half, I guess. Then.
Yeah, but yeah, come on, man. Anime fathers, you need to step it up, bro.
I'm just
Y'all
trying
don't
to
get
think.
y'all
I'm
get
really,
nothing for Father's Day. I tell you that.
I'm really over here thinking like, okay, My Hero
who is-
Academia.
Right?
Doesn't matter. No dad.
No
Okay.
dad.
No, Endeavor.
Yeah, and
Endeavor.
He's
Oh,
trash.
yeah, but even Midoriya doesn't have a dad. His dad's not
Yeah,
around.
dad's not around.
Dad's not
That's also
around?
about Midoriya, like the protagonist.
Take
I'm
this.
thinking.
Hunter x Hunter
Not around.
gone.
Trash.
Yep.
And I'm going to go. I'm going to go look for this dude that never gave a fuck about me.
Yeah, I mean, but it inspired him to be strong. It inspired him to go on adventures and help save the world.
That's what we all say about basketball players. They lead your kids so they can become LeBron James. That's what.
I
Is that what we're talking about?
That's what happened to LeBron. I mean,
I guess it worked.
All right.
but we'll see how little Bronny's.
I mean, Jordan and Kobe
Yeah,
both had fathers in their lives.
Yeah, but Jordan's father is the reason he retired the first
Here we
place.
go. We ain't gonna go that far.
Oh
But
yeah,
I know
that
what you
whole
mean.
thing.
Yeah,
That's a thing.
I understand.
Either way,
I
let's get
you.
back to the story.
Yeah. So she's explaining basically she's part of this secret agent society that's taken over in this time called Nerve, and she's
I
like,
like the name of what.
It's
Actually, the naming on the show is top notch. I will say that.
That's
The
pretty cool, yeah.
Episode names and okay, but I'm sorry. Please.
Yeah.
continue.
So she basically explains both to him and to us that, there's a whole city basically underneath the city. So that kind of explains that, what happened to these guys? Where did they go? They all retreated underground.
Yeah.
Because they even explain, he's just like, as they're going down, he's just like, oh, like that's an actual natural geoformation. So he's never even seen like real land before. He's only seen what humanity has built over the top of the ruins of what used to be there. And so as they're taking him down, and she's kind of explaining, so there's this experimental program where we have these huge robots and you're going to be the pilot. Isn't that great? And he's just like, what are you talking about? Like, I've never seen these things. I don't know what
Where's
this
my
is.
dad?
Where's my dad? And while she's explaining this, like his dad does show up and he's just like, you're going to do it, right? And they kind of have this awkward moment where he's just like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go up there and fight this alien that we don't even know how to destroy in this robot suit.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to pilot.
We gotta have a talk first. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do it, but me and you gotta have eye to eye. We gotta have at least a discussion, bruh.
That'd be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had anxiety dreams about this where it's just like, oh yeah, here you go. You're about to go up on stage and perform this thing, but you've never looked at a script before. Like, you have to do this project, but you don't know anything about it. And so, like, this is basically the worst version of that, where it's like, oh, you have to go into this robot, go up there, and fight this world-ending alien, and if you don't, we're all gonna die. So, like, no pressure or anything.
None.
So
no
what,
pressure.
So what are you guys gonna do? You're his age. What is your decision at this point?
I mean, if I'm 14, I mean, honestly, if I believe everything they're telling me and I'm looking at this robot, I'm like, well, fuck it. We out. Let's
Right?
go. Like, I mean, that's for me. I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, I guess we gotta go. Like, okay,
Yeah.
who's my coach? That's where I'm at. Like, who's
Yeah.
my coach? Who's gonna tell me how to fuck this thing up? That's where I'm at.
I mean, I might be where this guy is, and where he starts just like hyperventilating because like, he's just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how any of this works. Like, even if I'm 14 and somebody puts me in like the cockpit of a plane and they're like, fly this thing. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do, let alone a huge robot like that.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
I don't know. I feel like I would negotiate. I'd be like, okay, so what do I get?
Yeah.
That's why I feel like I would
Something, yeah.
Like, so I'm putting my life on the line. I like to think I'd have the wherewithal to be like, okay, this is happening right now. Cool. So I get paid for this, right? Like, do I get paid for this? How much do I get paid? They're like, how much do you want? I'm
Yeah,
like,
at that
I want
point,
$1
I
million.
want the world.
That's what I was just probably as a 14-year-old. Like, I want $1 million, and they'd probably be like, okay, because it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
That's
easily.
easy money for them.
yeah, give me $1 million, and I will do whatever I can as a robot. If I don't win and we all survive, I still get the $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, what about you, Keenan? You getting in the robot?
Yeah, I'm getting in the robot, but I'm definitely being like, I'm having a discussion with Pops first. But bro, like,
Pops don't want to talk to you.
I
Haven't you
ain't
noticed?
gonna lie, I gotta sock this nigga first before I ever step into this robot. I gotta get one swing on him. That's it.
You got to
Just
come
one.
down here and let
Just
me
one.
punch you in the
Hey, Dad,
face.
it's just, I
That
miss you,
seems to be a
Dad.
theme in this show.
Yeah, right.
I got to swing on him. But you know what's funny? I'm between both of you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be nervous because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, people are dying. I don't know. I'm 14. Do I want to die at 14? I'm like, yo, is he a virgin? Do we know that?
Probably.
Probably, but I'm
He
just
doesn't
saying,
seem to have great social skills. If anything, they keep saying
But
like, "Oh yeah, he's exactly like his dad. He's got no
No
charm."
And I ain't fucked before. Oh, bro, I
I'm
don't
just
know,
saying though,
man.
but it's guaranteed that you never will if you don't get into this robot.
yeah, I
Damn
guess
you,
there's that.
Brennan.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Just like The only chance you ever gonna get to get laid is in that robot. So
Yeah, because while all this is going on, like basically the angel above ground is starting to send explosions down into the ground. They're like, fuck, he knows we're down here.
I'm doing it. I'm in.
I know you start to see the ground shake, and they're just like, we're not joking with you. We're literally all about.
Let's go.
We're all about to die. Like
Yeah.
we're all gonna die if you don't get in this robot.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Or like they did, they pull up a stretcher and pull out this little 14-year-old girl that's literally in shambles and blood.
Yeah.
And she looks like she's about to die.
First, I'm saying, yo, why kids?
Yeah, I
A
mean,
lot of adults around this bitch.
Rob had a really good theory.
what I think is coming
So
is
they haven't told us yet in 5 episodes. Just for the
They
record.
basically mentioned that these aliens or whatever show up 15 years ago, but everybody that's able to pilot one of these things is born after the aliens show up. So I wonder if that's got to have something to do with it, because they also imply that there's like some sort of crazy technology. Like this is the peak of all. Like his dad is like, this is the peak of our technology, which even makes me think maybe they got their hands on some alien technology that they're like,
Yeah.
this is the only way that we can fuck with them is by trying to use their own weapons against them in a way, sort of thing. So I don't know if it's like kids born after that date have like some sort of different psychic like mind ability or
Yeah.
something.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm telling my dad, like, you get your bitch ass in there. That's the first thing I'm saying.
Well, I mean, this guy says no, and they keep referring to the kid Shinji as the backup pilot.
Yeah.
And when he says no, they're like, all right, redo the algorithm, put the girl's logistics in there and wheel her out here. And they're like, she's fucked up. And they're like, well, we don't have any other choice because my son won't do it. So we got to bring out the girl on the
He's
stretcher.
the worst father ever to guilt trip him like that. We'll
Yeah.
just bring her out.
And so they do. They wheel out that girl on the stretcher. And like, to her credit, she's just like, all right, yes, sir. Like, here I
Hey,
go.
I got mad respect for her, dog.
Yeah.
She's a beast. She's like, yo, let's get it. It is what it is.
She's got an eye patch on. She's got her arm in a cast.
Yeah.
Like, her legs all fucked up.
She didn't hesitate for a second.
Bro.
No.
Mad respect.
Yeah.
I would have hesitated so hard. I'm just saying, like, what we find out later, which is okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
What we find out later is she got injured because she was looking to synchronize with one of these Avas.
Yeah.
She's one of these big robots. Like, that's how she got injured, and she's literally in bed trying to recover from how bad her ass got destroyed
Yeah.
by one of these things, trying to sync with it. And then they were like, "Hey, we need you now to save us," and she's just like,
Yeah.
"Okay, no
Let's-
hesitation."
Let's get it.
Honestly, that's what him. If I'm him, I'm like, yeah, I can get in this robot. If I'm her and I've already been in the robot and that's what happened to me, probably not.
Yeah. Well, they even tell him there's like a 0.000001 chance that this is even going to work. They've never got it to work before. The one time they tried to make it work, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Is that girl on the stretcher happened?
But
And
they didn't say that.
They didn't say it like that. But
No.
Yeah.
so anyway, he's just like, I'll give the guy credit because when he sees that that's who's going to go, and he's like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And as like another explosion goes off and stuff starts coming down from the ceiling, and he basically covers his head, and the robot also moves, even though it's not even plugged into its power source yet. So they're like, this is going to work.
Yeah.
All right, get him in there. So they
the
plug
kid.
him in.
That was dope. That moment where the robot just instinctively protected him.
That was
I
pretty
like-
cool.
I was
That
like,
was dope.
oh, it's about to be dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
This show came in hot.
Yeah.
And I liked the way the show started. I was in. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as the show started, I was like, okay.
Well, it's right
Episode
into the drama. There's
yeah,
no setup.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
So he's in the pod, and they're like, all right, we're going to fill this up with the fluid, which it does. And they're like, don't worry, you can breathe in it,
Terrifying
it is
fluid.
terrifying.
And that's when I'm done because I can't swim. I would have fucking freaked.
But the thing is,
Right?
what do you mean you're done? Like, at that point, you're locked in a capsule. They fill with liquid. You can't get out,
you know what I'm
Keenan.
doing? I'm just passed out in the thing. Just the
You're
roll
not
right
gonna
in the
Oh,
breathe.
God. Hold on just a second, Keenan. So that you can let me see you pass out on command. Go ahead. Pass out, Keenan. All right, punch him in the face. See if he wakes. See if he's awake.
You're a dick, bro.
So they start up the sequence, and it turns out the sync works just like they said it would. And they send the kid up, and they put him up there, and he's on the street, and he's facing down the alien, and that's how episode 1 ends. They're just like, all right, go get him. And episode 2 picks up right from there, and he immediately starts getting his ass whooped.
Destroy.
Like-
That's the thing. He don't even have any regular fighting skills. You think
No.
he's about to go in this thing and know how to fight?
Yeah. I mean, he tries to throw a punch. The thing catches it, like starts crushing his wrist, starts pulling on his head, and he's like trying to separate his head and his wrist from the body
Ooh,
entirely.
that angel, they coming for blood. They coming for death. They
Yeah.
ain't coming here to fuck with you and toy with you. pull his head and arm off, and then he can feel all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. He starts screaming in pain, and so that kind of shows the psychic link between the pilot and the robot.
Yeah.
And they're telling him, like, your wrist isn't really broken. You're okay. But, like, for him to get over that psychologically is, like, he can't handle it. Like, he's in totally over his head, and the thing just picks him up by his skull and starts blasting his face over and over again.
So that move that it was doing right there, that
Yeah.
you saw how it had something coming out of his elbow and then like hitting him.
Yeah.
That is 1,000% exactly how Big O worked.
Gotcha.
So it's like a
Okay.
big piston in his elbow that would come out and just like
Yeah.
destroy stuff. But go ahead.
And this thing like totally goes through his eye, and like the robot's done. And they're saying like the robot's unresponsive, nothing's working. We think the pilot might be dead. And as they're screaming his name, they cut to the kid waking up in the hospital. And at that point, I'm thinking like, okay, he must have lost. Like, but how are they all still here?
Yeah.
And they kind of carry out throughout the rest of the episode as he's like getting used to his life, and they're kind of picking up the pieces. They show that the head of the robot's being picked up. They're kind of putting it back together. Shinji moves in with the spy girl, and she's kind of like trying to get him set up, and it's just like, yo, you can live with me, like we'll be cool. She's trying to give him some sort of normalcy, like, yeah, you can help yourself to a beer, why not? Like, this is your room, this is your home now. And he's just not really sure how to handle it because he's definitely not.
I have a Rob correction for once, guys.
Oh my!
Oh,
All
whoa.
right,
Yeah,
go
there is
ahead.
a Rob correction. That's why I've been looking.
Yeah,
this
you were
whole
looking
time.
at me.
It's looking really funny. So episode 1 actually ends with during the robot fight. Like
It does?
Yeah. So episode 1 is a lot more than you said. Like you ended episode 1 really early because episode 2 starts with him waking up in the hospital bed.
When I watched it on Netflix, it was different.
But that for me. That's when I watched it today. That's what I was saying. Like,
All right, man. Like,
I'm just saying that's what I was thinking. Is like because episode 1 had a lot more in it. So like episode 1, the wrist got crushed in episode 1.
Yeah, he said
and
that.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He said that happened in the beginning of episode 2.
Well, if it happened, it happened.
Oh.
I
No,
still
but the
want to
only
go
reason-
back to the tape.
No, but okay, we can go back to tab. But the reason I say that though is because I remember specifically
Mm-hmm.
that we don't find out what happens in that fight and how it concludes until the middle of episode 2. So episode 1 ends with the cliffhanger of this kid getting his ass whooped.
Yeah,
Then-
I thought Rob said that. Maybe I'm
No, I
tripping.
thought the episode 2 started with him getting his ass whipped.
No,
No, that's my
no,
point.
no,
That's what
it
I'm saying.
didn't.
So the episode
No.
2 starts with him in the hospital
Yeah,
bed.
yeah, it does.
That's what I'm
Does?
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So episode
Yeah.
1 has a
All
lot
right.
more in it
Well,
than we
that's not
said.
how I remember it, but I guess
This
I
is the
was
first.
wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa.
What?
Rob's
Who
slowing down.
are
Rob's
you?
losing a step. He's Michael Jordan on the
Wait,
Wizards.
There's even more. There's even more congratulations in order. I think I might know why this is. Rob's mind is elsewhere, guys.
Oh,
Am I?
Oh, yeah.
you want to say it?
Yeah,
Go
can I
ahead.
say it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Rob, congratulations. Rob got
Wow.
engaged this past week.
I
Yes.
did. Yes.
He
thank
got
you, thank you.
engaged to
Yeah.
the most wonderful woman ever. I love her
Yeah.
so much.
Oh, thank you.
She's
Thank
so
you.
great. I'm sure
She
you
is
love her
great.
slightly more.
A little bit.
Rob was on there. Me and Babe just got engaged. I was like, Rob with the Babe. Congratulations, brother.
Davis laugh. Yo, so Rob out here just running game. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I got real shit on my
So
mind.
look, so Rob, we give you a
It's
pass.
true.
for
I
your memory.
crammed all these 5. I know it wasn't all today, but I was cramming the shit.
So Rob gets a pass. He got engaged.
Yeah.
But let me just for the correction.
Uh-huh.
Episode 1 ends with our Shinji is his name, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Getting his ass whooped inside of this robot.
Yes, it does.
Pretty much the end of the episode is when, like I said, this elbow piston comes through and it actually pierces the head of the robot he's in. The robot falls forward and there's blood spurting out of it. End of episode 1. Cut to black. Episode 2 starts, and the reason I'm doing this is very specific because there's something I want to talk about with this. So episode 2 starts. We have the child, Shinji. He wakes up in a hospital bed staring at the ceiling. It's called New Ceilings. Is episode 2.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I love that was one of my favorite episode names of any anime I've seen, just because of how that theme of that name of that show was throughout the whole episode. But either way, he wakes up staring at the ceiling, and then they go into the whole story of what's happening now. And the first thing you see are scenes of like the head of the robot that he was in, Eva, getting picked up off the ground like by cranes and stuff like that and being moved out. And then he has to just move through his life, and he's like moves in with the girl, and all this kind of stuff is happening. And that's what's going on in episode 2. And it leaves us as the audience just hanging there like, wait a minute.
Yeah. How did this fight go down? Did it just leave? Like, how did it not destroy everybody? I'm thinking like they even said, hey, this thing knows we're underground. What is it? Just like, all right, I did what I had to do. I'm out of here.
Yeah. So it's like, what happened? Well, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say, I'm to me for anime, this is classic in how you do and how you get people to stay along for the next episode.
Yep.
I
It
was
classic
like, I
cliffhanger.
gotta watch this fucking next episode regardless.
Yeah, classic
Absolutely.
cliffhanger.
Beautiful.
And so that for me, and then halfway through the episode, so after we already established where he's going to be living, how that's going to be going, like he's even in school at this point, then it just hits us with a flashback. Like,
Yeah.
he gets hit.
because he's going to bed that night, and like as they're closing the door, she's just like, by the way, People are probably going to thank you for what you did out there, and you should be proud of what you did.
And I was like, wait, what? And then he falls asleep, and it's just like he's there. He's back in the fight, and it goes in. Like that fight was so. I like the dope. I like that fight.
That was pretty. It was a pretty dope fight because. Yeah, they're back in the defense room screaming like they think the pilot's dead. They think he's done. Like there's no power from the robot, and they're just like, I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. And then all of a sudden the robot just stands up, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? It like opens up a mouth of some kind, and they're like, it's going berserk, and it does. It goes in on this angel and just goes crazy. Just starts like. It starts ripping his fucking arms off and just destroying his shit, punching it in the face, blasting it, and it's just like the only thing the angel can do to survive is it just latches on and self-destructs Jiaozu style.
Yeah,
and
Jiaozu style, beautiful.
And and the Ava is still standing, but the last thing he sees before he passes out again is like they're bringing him back down, and he like catches his reflection in like one of the mirrored panels on the wall, and something like the robot grows like its own eye and like stares back at him, and he starts screaming, and that's when he goes back to the bed, and he's just like, and he just rolls over and he looks miserable.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I liked about the consistency in the eye, like the robot growing an eye, is like it also in the middle of that fight he heals its own wrist.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like regenerative capabilities there. It's something that wasn't mentioned, and it seemed to be something that's kind of surprised the people.
Yeah, all the people in all the technicians and stuff were just like, what the hell? That's not how this is supposed to work.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't supposed to protect them. You know, it wasn't supposed to do a lot of things that it's been doing. So obviously they invented a technology that they fully didn't understand. So I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and so they had that fight, and I mean the only other thing that I can think of from this episode is he has a crazy encounter with his penguin roommate. That they have the pen.
I love the penguin.
Yeah,
that was the most dope entrance of a penguin that's ever happened. Like,
yeah, because when he comes into the apartment and he kind of points out, you know, we don't know who's in there at this point, and he's just like, oh, who's in there? She's like, oh, I don't like to disturb people while they're sleeping. It's like, who the fuck is that?
Yep.
Then later on, when he gets into the shower, you know, Shinji is going to get into the shower, and he opens up the door, and there's just like a little penguin with like a towel over his shoulder, just like, hey, what's up?
It's like an emperor penguin too, so it has like those eyebrows and stuff. So yeah, he just comes around and just he looks at him like, can I help you?
Yeah.
And then walks right by into like the steam room or the shower or something like that. Like, yo, that penguin's
Anybody gonna
fire.
say nothing about this? A penguin?
But I mean,
like,
he
oh,
freaked
yeah,
out.
yeah.
I think he had a appropriate reaction.
Yeah.
He literally ran out to her naked. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And her response to that was like,
oh yeah, that's Pen.
yeah, it's Pen. Can you cover yourself? Thank you.
Yeah, geez, like it's not cool.
I mean, for him, he should have been like, you like anything you see, girl?
Bruh.
Like,
No way.
I know you over here drinking.
She's
fresh
not
out-
interested.
Yeah, he's fresh out the shower. I'm sure it's like on Seinfeld. It's shrinkage. I was in the pool.
Hey, man, that's why you take hot showers.
That's true. Here we go, Brendan.
All right,
Hey.
so Brendan, did I forget anything from episode 2? Or are we,
I feel good. All
All
good.
right.
Thank you.
Robert, if you keep doing that for every episode, that's gonna be hilarious.
well, hey, mate. I mean, he's fresher. He said. So this third episode starts out with him training, right? Because he's basically out on the field. It seems like he's out on the field and he's practicing shooting down some more of these angels, like from the first fight that he had. And they're kind of he's just repeating like center the target, pull the trigger, center the target, pull the trigger.
Yep.
And meanwhile, while he's going through his daily training,
Wait, can I stop you really quick right
Yep,
there?
go ahead.
That scene again, I think, really falls in line with what I was saying from the beginning about the director and being able to really get into the mental state, because it wasn't just so much like what Rob said. It was very repetitive, center the target, to the point where you're watching it like, well, I was watching it like just with Rob. It's English subbed. So like they only showed you that statement twice, but they said it like 5 or 6 times, but they just repeat themselves. And I even think that was actually creative, that they're like, don't put the text there anymore because they now know what this is. Because he said it so many times.
Subbed.
It was fantastic, which old trash. So
see, I was gonna watch it dubbed, but my issue came. I wanted to put the subtitles on because I couldn't hear
It doesn't match.
and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm just gonna watch the Japanese.
So,
and read it.
like I was saying, which I was sorry ass Keenan.
Check the anime page. I posted a little something about dubbed anime.
You
Yeah,
did.
You did. You still trash. But what was really interesting to me is like you're playing with the psyche of this kid. Like you have a 14-year-old kid that's being trained to kill. Like that's what he's being trained to do. Center your target, aim, and pull the trigger. That's what she said over and over again. And he's literally just killing these beings in front of him in a simulation. So for me, that like there's this within this episode that comes back.
Yeah, they're trying to teach him to kill, and not.
You know what's funny? To go maybe to the theory why they even use 14-year-old kids or just young kids at that particular age or around that age is probably like where they're the most influential in the sense of like their life and stuff like that. You can kind of like train them more at this age, and where they're mature enough to be like, okay, I get it. but then it's like, yo, I can still train you to be an assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I like that, but I also stand by like what I said to Rob when we were watching it. I'm like, every single anime seems to be featured around a kid that is 14 or 15 years old.
Very true.
Like
Yeah.
every
Very true.
single one.
Yeah.
Ichigo
Yep.
Kurosaki.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, like what My Hero Academia,
Yu Yu.
like Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yep.
You know, it's like almost all of them are featured around. Like it's really weird that one of the most popular animes ever doesn't do that. Except the only one that doesn't. You know, Dragon Ball Z. He's a grown man. You know, Goku's a grown man.
How
So-
was he when Dragon Ball Z started?
He's supposed to be, I think, like 19, 20, something like that.
something like that, early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because you know he has a kid at that point and a wife, so
Yeah.
you know we hope he's not 14 at that.
Hey,
point.
man.
Because the thing is, in Dragon Ball, he passes that age. You know, because he is 14 at some point in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But for me, just really interesting that there's a common theme. Like just so many. Agami got killed.
Yeah.
You know,
I do want to. I want to know what's the reason for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the best reason I could have, like, and I'm just making this up, it's just some kind of random observation that I've thought of, is that whenever you ask anyone, what is the best music ever, 90% of people are going to give you music that came out during the time that they were between the ages of 13 and 16. Because that's the age that you feel music or feel, you know, your emotions, your like all these chemicals are stronger within you.
Yeah.
So you feel everything so much more during that time. So that's my best theory is like maybe there's some kind of reverence for that time in your life in the Japanese culture that's saying like, look, we understand things are more intense during this time. So we place a lot of these kids in these intense situations that are already going through intense situations internally.
Yeah.
And we show that juxtaposition or like something like that. That's my best theory. But
Yeah.
I really just pulled it out of my ass.
Sounded like
It's a pretty good theory, though, I guess.
no, yeah, it's true.
But so I mean, at this point, this episode is more about kind of establishing Shinji's like daily life as he's doing this. So he's going to his training.
Yep.
He's going to school.
Yep.
He sees the blue-haired girl from the stretcher that he also had in his vision. That
Yep.
he's kind of just like. So he's already clocked her, and he's
Well, but
just
she's
like,
in class like just hobbled, bruh.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
still got the eye patch on. She's still going
She
to
got
school.
an arm
Beast.
sling.
Yeah, and meanwhile, girls are texting him like, "Hey, are you the boy in the robot?" And they know she's a pilot too. They don't give a fuck about her.
So
No.
I have a question. You're him.
Mhm.
You're sitting in that classroom.
Yeah.
You have a screen on your desk, which I don't understand why teachers would ever let kids message each other through their desks
Mhm.
in the first place. But if that's the case, and you get that message, and you are in fact the pilot, what do you answer?
I'm doing exactly what he did.
Yeah,
I'm
hell
saying
yeah, yeah.
you're goddamn right. That's my
Yeah.
answer.
I'd say I was.
I think I would've said-
then I'm
I
looking
like
back
to-
like, yeah.
I would like to think I would be like, no, I'm not.
I
you
mean,
want to say mysterious in that situation?
No, it's not so much that I would stay mysterious. I would hope I'd have the forethought in realizing what that meant, like the cascade of effects. I mean, we saw what happens. Like,
well, yeah.
he said it. They immediately surround him, and now he
Mhm.
become instantly the most powerful and also most hated kid in the whole school.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
as this is going on, as kids are showing up, they're talking about like, hey, kids are disappearing because like our city's under attack and we
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck is going on.
Everybody's leaving.
People are hurt from that last attack. Like there's even a guy that's like, you know, these robots are supposed to be protecting us, and my sister got caught in the rubble of a building that thing knocked down.
Yep.
So I mean, even when he says like, yeah, I'm the pilot, and that starts getting out, that kid that said that clocks it, and they cut to the next scene, and the kid's beating the shit out of him. I mean, he's
Yeah.
punching him in the face.
I realized all the women were cool with it.
Yeah.
They were like, yo, he's like, it's that maybe that bravery, that protection type of thing. All the dudes were kind of like,
Fuck you.
yeah.
It's like him,
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You think he can protect you?
right?
Have you seen these arms though?
So yeah, I
He's
mean,
getting an ass whipped by them arms.
yeah, he is, because the guy punches him, and he's just like, that was for my sister. If I didn't punch you, I couldn't have lived with myself.
And then the kid he falls on the ground, and he's just like, it's not like I wanted. He's like, what did he say? He's like, it's not.
Yeah,
like
he's
I
like,
wanted.
yeah, it's not even like I want to pilot this.
He's
thing.
like, it's not even
Yeah.
I want to pilot this thing. And he turns around, gets mad, picks him up again, and gives him another one.
Yeah.
Punches him again.
He might have deserved that second one.
He might have. I mean,
Yeah.
because I get it. I mean, number one, because there's probably a part of this other kid that's like, I wish I was the one piloting this thing. I'd love to be able to save humanity. And also the point where he's just like, you're the one that's supposed to be protecting me? You don't even want to be piloting this thing? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, get
I
your
would've been
attitude right.
Yeah, I would have been heated.
Yeah. So, and that's when the alarm starts going off, and the blue-haired girl like shows up. Is just like, I'll meet you at base. And so, so they take off, and there's another angel attack, and they're just like, this. I mean, we're getting another angel attack. One doesn't show up for 15 years. Now we're getting one just like a week or two later. What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
They're like, well, get Eva 01 like up online. We'll get Shinji out there. Like, you've got your training, so let's go. And they set him up. They send him up there. He's got the gun picks it up, and he's just like, center the target and shoot. And he just unloads the full clip. And even his boss, the spy, is just like, what are you doing? Like, all this smoke is going to obscure your target. You're not going to be able to see anything. And as he's sitting there waiting for something to happen, this ship, or whatever the hell it is, fucking destroys a building, knocks him aside, and starts picking him up by the leg and throwing him around.
And during this whole time, his two classmates, the one that whipped his ass and the nerd that let them know
he's a
who whipped
sucker.
his ass.
Yeah.
He's a kid with the camera. They go to the bathroom together, like real men, to decide that they need to get out there. Like this is like it has been our entire lifetime. There's never been an attack. We already missed the first one. And if we're gonna die, we might die here or out there, regardless.
Let's go check it out.
Let's go check it out. I got this camera. We know our friend. We know the kid who's out there fighting for us. Who would we be not to go out there? So they decided to get outside, and that was not the best choice.
No, it was the dumbest thing they could have done.
But so any of our listeners right now, if you can help me with this, there was an anime that was on. I believe that it was on Netflix, where there was the same thing happen, where there was a kid with a camera that went out to go watch and like view like people out there fighting, and found out one of his classmates was doing it. And I remember that this anime particularly had like a guy that was from the past that was brought to the present, and there's like a black ball that ended up being like a car that he could drive around that was like could fly and shit. It was really cool. And then that would go into a robot. Like he would take the little girl protecting and go into a robot, and then they would fight the aliens that would attack. It was actually a decent anime. I remember
it's a
watching
for me. I have no idea.
I know. So I'm just saying, if anybody can help me remember that one. That world reminds me of this world a lot, because there was like a whole city built to defend against alien attacks, just like this.
Yeah.
So like obviously that show was very much so influenced by this one. I just can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. So as this thing is, as the Eva is getting whipped around, Shinji inside of it, he gets thrown onto the hillside and he nearly crushes these guys with his hand. And when he spots them, they're basically like, oh, and while this is going on, I forgot to mention, they tell Shinji at the beginning of the episode, you have to keep your robot attached to its power source. If you get disconnected, you got like 1 minute of full power and then like another 4 minutes of just auxiliary power, and then you're done.
I never liked that. When I first saw the cord, I was like, this shit is
5
stupid.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
5 minutes total.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, this is gonna be a problem. I already knew out the gate. You can't have something that's like a remote control car with a wire to it. It's
Yeah.
it's just,
I mean, but for me, it makes sense though if you really think about it. It's like
Something
look,
that big.
exactly to be able to keep that thing powered. Like even in like today's world, 2019. Like
they ain't
what?
figured this shit out yet.
I'm just no. Like the only thing that we would be able to do, the best case scenario is we'd be able to do like what we do with rockets and throw a big ass gas tank on it. You know what I'm saying? And have it run off of diesel or some shit. But that's a problem though, because it's flammable. You know what I'm saying? So like if he gets punched in the gas tanks, the whole thing blows up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like for this one, it's a battery. So like, yo, we have a battery that lasts 5 minutes, but that's not the way you want to do this. Like just try to stay connected with this really strong cord that stays behind you. You know what I'm saying?
And how long is this? That's my thing was the extension of the cord.
I feel like the cord's long enough to protect the city. So
And
it's like he probably can go anywhere in the city with that cord on.
And then I'm looking at the main thing. If I'm the villain, I'm chopping this shit right off.
Yeah,
Which is exactly what happens.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what happens. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like now, all right, cool. It's go time. You know what's gonna happen when the umbilical gets cut.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time to go.
Yeah, so he spots those kids. Meanwhile, he knows he's only got 5 minutes. The people in this, he's got some people in his ear. Half of them are telling him to open up the cockpit, let the kids in. The other half are saying, "Fuck them, leave them out there." And he opens it up. He lets them in, and they're like, "All right, cool. You got the kids. Get back to HQ. We'll relaunch. We'll plug you in." And he doesn't. He repeats the words that he heard from the girl in his vision, where he says, "Don't run." And he pulls out this knife from his back and shoves it into this like ship's power core. And as he's running out of battery, just manages to crack the thing and destroy it just as the fight's ending.
That little ass knife he had, man.
It was tiny. It was tiny.
That little ass knife didn't do, man. I wouldn't do nothing in a real fight.
But I mean, I think it was. But for me, this goes back to that mentality and like the psychology of this kid. Like we were saying from the beginning of this episode, is number one, he freaked out because he saw his friends. They get in the cockpit with him, and then
friends.
well, okay, his acquaintances at school that
Yeah.
are being set up to be his friends, pretty much.
Knocking me out. Yeah.
Yeah, they punched the shit out of him. You're right. Good point. But he freaked out seeing them on the battlefield. But then, like, when it was time for him to retreat, like, everybody at this moment, so far until this moment, has done nothing but tell him to go, move forward, and kill. That's all they told him to do.
Yeah.
Against his instincts. That's all he's been told to do. Is all he's been told to do. Is all he's been told to do. And now in this part right here, suddenly retreat. And he's like, or I have this knife right here and I can just kill like you taught me. And that's what he does. And he, like, as you can see, it was not just like a chill, let me just stab this and move on. Like,
he went nuts.
He went absolutely berserk. I'm just like, I'm going to kill this thing. And obviously for me, like, and for anyone, I think stabbing is a much more personal thing than shooting.
Absolutely is.
So like he put that right into the belly of it while he was also getting stabbed in his belly. Because you have to imagine he got stabbed in the belly. So he's still feeling that. Like, as we remember, that's why he's screaming like that, is because he got stabbed first and then stabbed it back. So that's just like imagining me and you and Keenan, like we both had a knife right now. Yeah. And we stabbed each other in the stomach. That's what it was like.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a really like a really crazy scene just to think about. Like, he was feeling stabbed while stabbing, while knowing his robot was about to die too. Like, the battery's gonna die, and if he doesn't win this right now, he's definitely dead.
Yeah.
So it was pretty intense.
It was, and the battle finishes, and there's another little bit of a fast forward, and we see the kids back in school, and they're like, man, it's been a while, and the kid, what do they say? It's been like 2 days, and they're like, what? Since they read us the riot act? No, since that kid hasn't been back in school, and he's just like, all right, and the nerd kid's like, all right, like, you want to talk with him? Here's his number. You can give him a shout, and the bully guy, he walks to the phone, he picks it up, he's about to dial the number, and he can't bring himself to do it, whether he's embarrassed or whatever. He walks away, and then that starts episode 4 starts up, and it seems like he's just run away. So the spy girl goes to his bedroom, and he's just not there. And it turns out the two guys show up, and they're just like, hey, he hasn't showed up at school. He's got all his homework piling up on his desk. Like, we just wanted to check on him. And she's like, oh, yeah, he's at training right now. And then,
lies.
Which is a lie. So they leave, and they're just like, oh, he's living with a hot babe. That changes things.
She's not that hot, man.
I mean, I guess in this world she is.
I mean, how many are left?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying, like, are you smashing if you get back to that apartment?
Well, I will say that what they did explain.
What?
Did you not see the garbage everywhere? The empty beer. Like, this person's an alcoholic that doesn't keep their shit together.
Bro,
like,
we live underground.
Bro. She just looks like an advertisement for an STD to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm even staying strapped, I'm just like,
we're all
I'm
gonna
okay.
die.
You don't take care of your
anyways.
apartment. That means you don't take care of your body. I value my body. We're gonna survive this.
Yeah.
this
You
robot
ain't
attack.
never slept with somebody in a trashy place before?
No.
Really?
Got into a trashy place, and he's just like, I'm done.
I'm honestly, like, I will judge you based upon how you. The thing is,
I get that.
I can understand cluttery, but like, you literally have garbage and empty beer cans on every inch of this place.
Look,
I don't care how attractive you appear to me. Like, I'm
Bruh.
like, either we're going back to my house to do this, or guess what we're doing first? We're cleaning. Like, that would be the best case
I
scenario.
could not clean and then be in
No
the mood
way.
afterwards.
No,
That's
you
what
clean
I'm
and then you go home. That's what happens. There's no cleaning and sleeping together after
I'm just
that.
letting you
There's
know.
no fucking after that.
So wait. So you said, Rob, are you saying that you be in?
I mean, is her bed clear?
Thank you. Exactly.
You are
What am I-
engaged, my friend.
Yo.
You are engaged. You have a fiance.
I'm with Rob. If the bed is clean,
You have a girlfriend. I'm the single one over here. Y'all over here trying to tell me about.
This is a hypothetical.
Yeah.
I'm not
This
y'all
isn't
trying to tell
like-
me about single life right now. When's the last time either one of y'all was single?
Yeah, it's been a while.
going on 2 years.
Cameron feels me. See, Cameron's single too. So Cameron,
But I feel
Cameron's
like
our
Cam's,
technician
I feel
over
like
here.
Cam's a neat freak too. Like,
It's not. I'm not a neat freak. The thing is, like, you have to be careful in these sexual streets, as Tony Baker said.
That makes sense. That
You
makes
gotta
sense.
be careful. Like,
I get it. Listen,
the reason
I
why
get
the
it.
reason why I don't care is because one, her psyche, I'm sure is fucked up with just how life is down there.
Yeah.
Right. So she's not thinking about that. I guarantee you, nobody's probably super clean down there.
Well, every day could be your last.
Yeah, she's not thinking about that. She's like, I ain't cleaning this shit. I'm probably gonna die in 7 hours.
She got made fun of by her friend who visited for how
That's
dirty
true.
her place was and how horribly she cooked. So that means that she is below standards on all of the domestic side of
Whoa,
things.
whoa, 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 whoa! I didn't say I'm wifing. Whoa.
Dude, anybody that you have to, you know what? Please continue. I'm
Yeah,
not
this is beside the point.
I'm just saying we about to go into some real shit right now. I'm like, I don't
This
think
is
Keenan's
all
ready
beside
for this.
the point. No. So something I did breeze over in episode 3 when they're in the classroom, they kind of explain some of the backstory of this world that 15 years ago or back in like the 90s, like 95, something like that. Basically, a giant mass from space slammed into Antarctica, melting it instantly, and all of the rising oceans and tsunamis killed half of Earth's population, a bunch of the species, and there was all the Civil War chaos, the angel attack. So they said that those that survived the impact literally lived through hell. So these are the people that are left after that. But while all that's going on, so she back to episode 4, she checks in on him and she's just like, man, I don't blame him for running away. This sucks. And he's on his own. He's basically on the train, just riding out to nowhere, just getting lost, trying to figure out what the fuck to do with himself.
Listening to that cassette player.
Listening to a cassette player.
2015.
Hey man, half a life got wiped out in 1995. They didn't have time to develop the compact disc. They only had cassettes.
or the hard drive.
Apparently not.
They could make giant robots.
Yeah.
That sequence DNA similar to humans.
They had their
hard drive is just out of
I'm
the.
saying,
they were prioritizing different things.
That's bullshit.
Obviously, like
Wait, when did the CD player
iPod,
come out? I could have swore the CD player was
probably
out back
did.
in 95.
Yeah, I think probably it was.
Stand by. Please continue.
They probably
I'll bring that up. Just
Thank
give
you.
me a second.
So he's out there wandering around, and we do find out that they're still doing tests on the girl. They're like, well, we can get her ready if we need to be, if he's gone. But basically, if he's not willing to do this, we have other options. And they eventually find him because he runs into his buddy. Or not his buddy. He runs into the nerd dude, who I guess is the closest thing he has to a buddy, and they're kind of hanging out. They camp over at night, and meanwhile, the next morning, the CIA shows up and finds him, and they're like, all right, we got to take you back to base. And the spy lady's just like, listen, you're in on this or you're out. Like, I understand why you run, but you gotta do this or move aside. Because you have to follow orders or else you'll die. And he's like, I don't care if I die. And she's like, well, that's the wrong fucking attitude to have because we need you. So he quits, and he's about to get on the train to leave when he runs into those two guys, and they apologize. The one guy's even just like, you have to hit me. I hit you too many times.
Yep.
So you got to hit me or else I won't be able to live with myself. And he does, only after he's told, like, you can't hold back, because it looked like he's about to at first.
He was gonna.
And as he's leaving, he it seems like he kind of has a connection with these guys, because he's just like, you shouldn't. He is like, you shouldn't stand up to me, because these guys are just like, we saw you fight out there that day. I will protect your honor. I will not let anybody say a bad thing about you. And that obviously affects him, because he's just like, no, you shouldn't defend me. I'm a coward.
I'm a coward.
I'm running.
Yeah,
running from this. And while he's thinking all that, he's sitting on the train, and the train pulls up, and the spy lady's even thinking like, oh, shit, like he's just a kid. Like, I got to go back for him. So she goes for him, and she thinks she misses him because the train pulls away, but he's there, and it's just like, all right, I'll get back in the robot.
Yep.
Fuck
so,
it.
Time out. I have two thoughts. Number one, CD players came out in 1982.
Oh,
Damn.
They started being sold
shit.
commercially in 1982.
Damn.
So
Wow.
they have no excuses about
Zero.
these cassette players. They have none.
And I swore
Akira
MP3
had one.
I think
so where the
I think
fuck?
there was some MP3s out maybe in the 90s sometime.
That's what
too.
I'm saying. Trash.
All right.
So that's number one. And number two, I really enjoyed this because Rob and I were watching together. I was like, Kuwabara made the episode.
There was a Kuwabara cameo.
Kuwabara made the episode. Like, Kuwabara made the show. Like, it was literally, I was just watching it, and I just saw it, and I casually was like, oh, look at that. It's Kuwabara.
Yeah.
Rob was like, wait, what? And rewinded it and was like, no. And I was like, he's right there. And Rob
Yep.
was like, that is definitely Kuwabara.
That looks like Kuwabara. Yeah.
It looks like Kuwabara.
All these animes got that style for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, just some random dude in like the bottom frame. And like,
Red hair, the same like curly like hairstyle.
he was
Yep.
even wearing like the school uniform. It looked
He
like.
was.
Yeah.
But
So
so
for the reference, Kuwabara is one of the main protagonists for Yu Yu Hakusho.
yeah, he
which
was
you
number
should
one
check
on
out.
my list of side characters.
Yeah, and you should check out the episodes that we did watch of Yu Yu Hakusho because Rob definitely writes a love letter to Kuwabara. So
I love Kuwabara. He's great.
he's not my favorite, but Rob loves
He's
him.
up there. He's great. So the last episode we watched for this, episode 5, this one is mostly a retrospective on the other girl, Ray,
Which we wanted. Me and Rob were talking about that in episode 4. We're like, what's going on
what
with
is
that
going
girl?
on with
Yeah.
her? Like, who is she? And so it starts with a 2-month ago flashback where they're basically conducting the sync up test for another Ava unit,
The
0
0
unit.
0 unit.
And they're testing it out with her for the first time, and the Ava goes berserk while she's in there. Like, they don't sync up, and it starts like they eject her from it, which causes her to have all those injuries.
So it starts going crazy, and the first thing
it
they do
starts
is
punching all those fucking windows.
oh, it's so crazy. But they eject the power source from it first.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. They eject the power source. Doesn't matter. They try to shut it down. Doesn't matter. Then it starts punching the walls where the people are.
It's trying to
And
get
they're like,
at him.
oh
Yeah.
shit.
Pops was a G for that too. Pops
He stood there. Yeah.
Like
He stood there,
hey,
took it to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's-
he wasn't afraid of that shattered glass. No.
No.
And I mean, we do see this scene earlier on in another episode. We see him standing kind of in the wreckage where that robot is, the Ava still has its fist in the wall.
Yeah.
I think this was in episode 2. But this is a flashback that shows how that happened. They eject the pod with Ray in it, and
It just bounces around.
it
the
just
room.
bounces around, which is how she got all fucked up and injured.
Yeah.
And they managed to, I guess, like flood the place with some sort of like acid or something like that shuts down the robot.
No, I don't know. I was actually curious about that acid. I was going to ask you guys what you thought it was. And the reason I say that is because they counted down like how long that robot was going to be able to continue moving. And the acid didn't change that.
Yeah.
That was what's interesting. The robot just freaked out until the moment that it was supposed to be done after it lost its power source.
Yeah.
So it continued to do that. But then like at the last 5 seconds of its like life, they started spraying this like red, purple liquid stuff at the feet of it, which I'm like, for what?
Which possibly could be connected to what helps run these things, because when Shinji got his like head fucking exploded, like blood sort of material started shooting out of it, which was crazy.
Good point.
So Shinji's dad, who doesn't give a shit about Shinji, runs downstairs and like apparently grabs onto these red hot like iron door things and rips it off to get Ray out of there, burning his palms.
I was heated. Now I feel like it's maybe some weird shit going on between them two. I don't know.
It could be.
That I was upset when I saw that.
Yeah. So he saves her and like his glasses come off, but they get like twisted and broken.
Well,
like,
they melt
liquid.
and the liquid melts them.
It melts them a little bit. So then they fast forward and they show that this is apparently the first the angel that Shinji defeated is the first like whole specimen they've ever been able to get, and so they're harvesting it for parts, which makes me think, maybe they're using
technology,
some sort of alien angel technology to build these things or to develop their own technology and weapons against them. And in this episode, we see a lot of Shinji kind of like. Kind of crushing on Ray, where he's just kind of watching her from afar. People are kind of picking up on it, saying like, "Oh, you're interested in her," and he's like, "No, like it's not that." But like, whether or not he's interested in her, it seems like he would at least want to talk with her because she's the only other person that knows what he's going through at this point. And the fact that she seems to be all in on it, and that he's spotting her like while they're going through their training exercises, like having full on conversations with his dad. She's smiling, like, and when one of the other doctors comes by and has dinner with the spy lady and Shinji at her apartment, and she's picking on her for her awful cooking.
So bad.
The instant cup ramen.
The penguin almost died from her eating.
Yeah,
like,
poor Pen. But what the doctor gives Shinji the ID card and it's just like, hey, can you give this to Ray on your way to school the next day?
Pressure.
So he heads in and he nobody answers the doorbell. He goes upstairs. Door's unlocked. Nobody answers it.
Saddest bedroom ever.
And I'm like, somebody brought him in, but nobody offered her a place to stay or something like that.
So sad.
So she's been totally left on the wayside, but she doesn't seem to care because, Shinji walks up to the dresser. He can see the glasses. He's like, oh, these are my dad's glasses. He puts them on and he turns around and she's standing there naked, just came out of the shower. And she's like, the fuck are you doing with my stuff? And he just like flips out, like, tumbles over. It's this, comedic moment where
classic anime
all
moment,
the bras and panties go everywhere. He falls down on top of her. He's got a boob in his hand, and she's just like, "Can you get off of me?"
This reminded me of the Eminem lyric. Like, would you slip, trip, land on his dick?
Like,
that reminded me of that so much. I was just like, well, I guess it really could have. He could have just lost his V card right there. If his pants would have not been on, V card gone.
Yeah.
And we were watching that. I think it was Brendan, maybe it was Cameron who was watching it with us. Was just like, man, like, she doesn't seem to care. I'm like, she seems some pretty fucked up shit in her life up to this point. I bet. Like,
she
probably
was so chill about it. She was just like, can you get off me, please?
Get off me, please. And he's just like, sorry. He's explaining himself, and he turns around to face her, and she's just gone. She left him. Like,
she was getting dressed while he explained himself. He said that, hey, I came to bring your card. I'm really sorry about it. Blah 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 blah. He said all the things, and she was slowly getting dressed, and then she literally just doesn't acknowledge him, doesn't do anything, just walks out the door.
Yeah. So they're on their way to her next test with her Ava. So Ava 00's ready for its next synchronizing test.
Yep.
This is the first time she's getting back in this robot since she got her life fucked up. And they're heading down on the escalator to get to it, and Shinji's kind of opening up to her. He's trying to talk with her, just be like, aren't you afraid? Like, are you nervous? And she's like, no, I'm not afraid. I'm not nervous. Like, don't you trust in your father's research? And he's just like, my dad, that fucking asshole. And she slaps him.
Yep.
And she's just like,
he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I liked her attitude. I like her, man. She's quiet. She stands for what she believes in. And she's a team player.
Yeah.
Like, she's a team player. She's like, I will sacrifice his body for the good of humanity.
She's for the cause.
For Shinji, not so much.
No. So she's getting into a robot. They start the synchronicity thing. It boots up fine this time.
Yep.
But while this is going on, another angel shows up, and they're just like, should we deploy both of them? And Shinji's dad's just like, no, we shouldn't do that. That Ava's not ready. Just send up 01. But another interesting tidbit I noticed is that she's hanging his glasses like off of one of her like controllers. So they are obviously very close.
What hurts me though, is that he's like, no, don't send in my almost adopted daughter. Send in my blood son.
My actual son.
Send him in to go do it. He's already had to fight 2 of these things by himself.
Yeah.
But he seems supremely confident in his son, like in a way that like it's definitely abusive. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but he seems to know something about his son that he doesn't realize, that Shinji doesn't realize, because when they are noticing like, oh, it's healing, it's doing all this thing, like the close-up is up on him with his like his hands crossed and he's smiling. He's just like, I fucking like I knew it.
Yeah.
You know, so he knows something about the fact that his son shows up and he's just like, no, you're gonna pilot this thing. And he's so confident.
I'm guessing that I'm just guessing he built it for him specifically.
It must have been.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that like there's 3 children that are pilots. They haven't found a 4th one yet. We don't know who that 3rd pilot is. Right now it's just Shinji and Rei. And so they're just like, all right, yeah, like Brennan mentioned, you know, we're not going to send up Ava, or we're not going to send up Ava 00. We're going to send up 01.
01. Yep.
And as they're sending him up, they're just like, oh shit, the thing's getting ready to fire exactly where he's about to pop up. And lo and behold, he pops up and this thing opens up a fucking building and he's right behind it, and it almost looks like it's going to cave in his chest.
Yeah, and unfortunately for this episode and our feelings, that's where the episode ends.
Cliffhanger. Because honestly, these 2 episodes were running kind of slow for me.
They were.
And I was kind of like,
I like the backstory of the second pilot though.
You know, I know I get the world building, I get the story building, because I know that's what Rob and I talked previously. We were talking about how, you know, he's feeling it right now. I was like, I was like, if this was 12 episodes for the season and that was it, I'm like, this shit's in trouble. That's how I would have felt. It's running too slow for it to pick up how I would want it to pick up.
Yeah.
But that it's 26 episodes. They got time. So, I mean, how do you feel about it so far?
I'm in. I like it. This is a classic build for me when it comes to anime. They're doing a good job of building up our main protagonist. The antagonist part of it, I'm still having a little bit of issue with because we haven't learned that yet, but I always like to have time to learn that, especially when we're still so interested in learning about the protagonist and those that surround him. Because honestly, in this moment, Dad is kind of sort of an antagonist too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I actually really am enjoying the world building. I've liked pretty much every character I've been introduced to. I've felt them all. You know, even from the kid with the camera to the kid that punches him, you know, to his sister that we haven't even seen yet that scolds him about punching him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I feel like the motivations of the characters make sense. The world makes sense outside of the stupid cassette players. I think that makes sense. I think that I like the fights. The animations look decent for that time. Like they're Yu Yu Hakusho level.
Yeah.
You know, it's around the same time. So I said this, like Rob was like, I wish animations were better. I'm like, of course. But for me, if it works, it works. So for me, it's like I don't feel like the animation takes away from the experience.
No, and I really only meant I mean, I see what you're saying, and it's not so bad that it takes away from me. Like, in fact, like I think the destruction animation is the coolest thing. Like when that circle opened up in that building right before the explosion, that was dope. The fighting sequences are pretty dope. The rest of it's a little simple. Like even when he didn't get on the train, and there was that whole like,
oh yeah,
it was like a minute and a half. They just held on that still shot.
Yeah,
like,
remember the steps one? Remember the escalators scene?
Yeah,
in episode 4, there's an escalator scene. They're riding down the escalator, and like the one next to it just going up like at 4 times the speed as the one to the. It just didn't look good.
Yeah,
but I'd say that it doesn't. Still, I stand by it. It's like there's definitely. I wouldn't necessarily call it lazy. I'd say more so. Like one of my favorite things about the show, actually, I will say, is the sound design. They even bring it up, like the cicadas. Like they're just like cicadas give you a feeling. When you hear cicadas, you feel outside, and it feels like time is moving, and it feels like things are happening. And they use not only the sound of the cicadas and the sound design for the show. I feel like technically the strongest point of this show is the sound design. I'll say that, but not technically when it comes to creatively. I like the writing so far, specifically the writing of episode 1 and 2, and how it doesn't even conclude that first fight until halfway through episode 2, which, you know, it seems like it's, you know, it puts you on the edge of death, at the end of episode 1, and then episode 2 is like, and now we're starting a whole new story thought.
Yeah.
What's also interesting too, and I had to look it up just now to confirm it, but cicadas have a hibernation period of 17 years.
Yep.
So the fact that one of the nerdy kid mentions just like, oh, there's been more and more cicadas every year. It's just like, well, a lot of these cicadas are now emerging for the first time since these aliens and this awful thing happened. So there's something cyclical about that too.
Yep.
The fact that this is all reemerging around the same time, I think it's got to be symbolic of something.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it, Rob?
I like it so far. I'm into it. I know I said it reminded me a lot of Attack on Titan, but it seems a lot more focused.
Oh Jesus, you hate Attack on Titan. So
I mean,
Yeah.
listen.
we're watching the rest of Attack on Titan.
It's
you know
that's
that.
fine. I don't think it's
And
the
it's
worst
back
show.
already,
I just
too.
don't think it doesn't. The hype doesn't hold up for me. I think it has its moments.
Season 1 hype held up great.
Yeah.
Season 1 was pretty good.
I feel like season 2 and some of season 3, but I feel like season 3 is. And so
We'll see. I want to see how it ends before I judge it, because Game of Thrones is the greatest show ever until it ended.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the last season, if the last season of Game of Thrones hadn't come out, I'd say that's easily the greatest show ever made.
Yeah.
So, but now because of what the last season looked like, I'm just like,
Breaking Bad's holding strong.
The Wire's holding strong.
The Wire's holding strong.
I'm actually on season 4 of Breaking Bad right now.
Oh, I'm very excited for you.
Okay. You got
Spoiler
it.
alerts, like you motherfuckers.
I'm just
We
saying.
didn't say anything.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna say it's still. I think it's solid throughout. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
But
I know we're
all
running
to
long.
that point, when you say solid throughout, I'd say that this show particularly, I think, Attack on Titan, has had solid moments and has built a lot of different abilities.
Yeah.
And if it still is savable. That's what I'll say. I think Attack on Titan is salvageable, because it's like, it would, like, if the director was meant for us to be confused and was meant for us to feel the ways that we don't know what the fuck's going on, and that was the intent, then I think, okay, you're winning.
Mission accomplished.
He did his
Exactly.
job, yeah.
You did your job, because if you can bring it back together in the last however many seasons there will be, and that was meant to be like that, it's like season 3 was meant to be chaotic and crazy,
Yeah.
because that allowed the setup for season 5, or whatever. So I'm just saying, Rob, you don't
Listen,
know.
Rob's
We'll
not
see.
convinced at all. He's like,
I'm not.
sure.
You're not even a little bit
I'm like,
convinced.
listen, I'll watch a Levi fight. That sounds dope. Like, cool. Like, I'll watch it to watch it. I thought there were moments in season 3 that were all right, but why I say this feels more focused is because this is only 26 episodes and then it's over. Attack on Titan could drag out this storyline forever
I don't know.
and not go anywhere, because that's kind of how it feels. That's one of my main issues with it, is that it doesn't feel like it knows where it's going. But
I
anyway, this is so tangential.
It is tangential, and we'll talk about this later,
All right,
Rob.
Keenan, I know you said you're
how do you
kind
feel,
of on the
Keenan?
fence about it.
right now it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not like hyped.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way this last episode ended to go to the next episode. I am hyped, not hyped, but I'm kind of excited to watch that. But I am a little bit nervous to see how this show is going to go through all the way out. But I mean, it's considered a classic, so let's see why. But I mean, also Trigon was also. I'm gonna be honest with you. This animation style for me is hard for me personally to watch. I might get some flack from that from the anime world, but for me personally, it's the same thing with Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, I understand how great that show is, but that animation style for me, like, I watch and it's like, shit, I just wish it was a little bit. I wish it's like how they did Hunter x Hunter. It's like they updated the animation. You know what I'm saying? I was able to watch that a lot. Just like I can go through 20 episodes, you know what I'm saying? So the animation actually kind of hurts me watching it in that sense. Brandon's saying it's not a big deal to him, but for me, it kind of like is a deal for me. But story-wise, I think so far it's pretty good.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Please finish.
And then the main character, I don't fully care about him yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of just like, I feel bad for him, but I'm just like, I want to see more, I guess, story in the sense of like him and his dad's relationship, why he's here.
Yeah.
At this point, which I know is obviously coming.
Yeah.
So I have a question for each of us that I think will be fun to answer. How do you feel Ice feels about it?
This shit is trash.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of.
just
I
like,
just always assume.
I don't understand, like, you know, like, this, like, why is the kid doing this? If I'm 14 and my dad told me to do this, fuck you, Dad. I'm not doing shit for you. So I'm not doing this at all. Y'all can all die, especially you, Dad. I hope I watch you die, and then we can go on from there. Trash at this moment.
All right, thanks, Ice.
That
It was like he was here. Yeah.
That really was Ice. That was really Ice. Like, Keenan,
Channeled
I'm
him.
just gonna go ahead and
Oh,
clap for that. That
Thank
was
you guys.
that was really good
Appreciate
Ice.
it. If this-
No, he's supposed to call himself a bitch at the end as well, though, because because Ice is a bitch. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know how I am. You know how my bitch ass is.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ice. Ice in the house, y'all.
Yo,
Yeah,
Ice
yeah.
is gonna be so hot, bro.
What about you, Rob? Same thing?
Yeah, I if I had to guess, I would say Ice probably doesn't like it very much. I think it's probably too slow for his taste.
Yeah,
Because I know
yeah.
he likes action. That's my guess.
I feel like what just happened that we predicted what he's gonna do is gonna actually change what he's gonna do. So that we're gonna say that he doesn't like it just to be a dick. He's gonna come in here like, well, actually, I liked.
I could totally see
It's
that.
not bad. The world building is actually pretty good.
So the best part for me, I'm gonna say, is that now that I said that, the fuck you gonna do, Ice? What you gonna do, Ice? How you actually feel?
Yeah.
You
If he
know?
actually listens fully back, because if he doesn't listen fully back, I think he's gonna come in here. I think these next 5 episodes that we're gonna watch is gonna be it's gonna be that meat and
Make or break.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, all right, this
I
shit
can see that.
is dope.
Yeah.
I know, I have a strong feeling the show's gonna be good. I mean, I was looking at the ratings online. Rotten Tomatoes, that's at a full 100. IMDb is at 93.
Shit.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what I'm saying. Like this show,
I'll be fucking with those ratings though.
they normally, like, for me, they hold up pretty true to how I feel most of the time. You know, so for me, most of the time it holds up pretty true, but sometimes it's like within a variation of like 20%. So even at 20% variation negative, it's still at 80.
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
for me, I'm like, all right, this show's probably really good, to the point where there's a bunch of articles written right now about it, about how people feel this is related to now, and also how the ending, let me rephrase that, what the ending means.
Yeah.
There's like, I saw like 7 or 8 articles. I just typed in the name of the show, and like articles within an hour ago. Like it was like 1 hour ago this article was written because it just got released on Netflix.
Netflix.
People are just talking about like what the ending means and like what the characters mean and what the director was trying to say. Like it's resurging this whole conversation, because I feel like this piece of art is what I'll call it, is I think is meant to be a play off of some form of humanity, because that's the kind of man this director is. If he's playing with psychology,
Yeah.
if he's playing with like these people's feelings and this like these characters, that means he's probably trying to do the same thing to us.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna not have a Trigun feel, but I feel like it's gonna be deep in the sense of like how Trigun was mad deep.
Yeah, I can see that.
Trigun wasn't super action heavy. It was okay, but I did love the deepness of the show.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
The trailer reminded me of like a mashup of like Trigun, like Attack on Titan, and Akira, like some sort of mix up of 3 of those things, you know,
Okay.
and like a little bit of Gundam in there or something like that with the robot suits.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
dash.
Okay. Well, Brennan, you wanna drop your stuff?
Yeah, man. If anybody would like to argue or debate or just come hang out, I'm on Instagram at Mr. Producer Face.
The award nominated.
Emmy
Award
man.
Emmy.
nominated.
Maybe I should
Award.
add that to my.
That'd be pretty good.
Why not? To be honest.
Should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Why
do
not?
it. Yeah. Think
People
about
respect that type of stuff.
it. We out here.
Rob?
Me, I'm RV Danger on Instagram, RV Danger 44 on Twitter.
And let us know, man. Let us know what y'all think of these first few episodes. What's going on? How y'all feel about it? Yay or nay so far?
Oh man, and I might have to give you my top 5 and bottom 5 list that you can post onto the Instagram account, because I didn't get to do it on the show.
Yeah, I got a few other guys I want to post to. I know.
True.
I told Keith I was going to post his too.
I vote we
And,
redo that episode anyway. So just so you know, I think Rob's rules worked for that episode better than anything else. You only can do it from shows we've watched.
So you want to eventually redo that episode with shows from we watch?
Yeah, you
I'm
only
down
can,
with that.
You
I'm
only
down
can
with
use.
that.
On
You can
an
only
episode I
use.
can't come in.
Yeah, only episode, like you only characters from shows we watch, because it gives someone like me an unfair advantage, because I can go to the 50 different anime shows that I've seen,
Very true.
and I'll talk about shit y'all don't even know. You can't relate to it. So
Well, see, some of our fans did that. And I was like, I don't know who the fuck these people. I didn't Google them.
yeah, so I say like, and fans, if you guys want to do that too, like you go ahead, let us know. If we'll
top
give some,
5.
we'll give top 5 of the shows that we've watched that you see in the podcast list, and if you do that, then Keenan will give you a shout out on that.
Give you a shout out, and I'll make sure I'll post you guys' answers and on our Instagram story.
Yep.
Top 5, then and then worst 5.
Top 5 is it top 5 side?
Top 5 side characters.
Can't be the protagonist, so
Can't
it
be
can't be the main person.
Yeah, it can't be the main person or the main antagonist.
Yep. So it can't be the main protagonist or antagonist, but any other characters that are good or bad. Top 5 good, top 5 bad.
Yep. So my stuff is Keenan Baker on everything, Instagram, stuff like that. And thank you guys for always tuning in and rocking with us, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all and always commenting and responding, man. We got more stuff coming. I'm going to be dropping some more videos for y'all. So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of AnimeSHUN. See you guys next week.
Peace.
And so anime was solved forever.